Greetings, folks. You're tuned in with Hajj Hassan, kickboxing teacher coach from out the East Bay, California, here for our Montu Arts segment. Montu Arts, the military, and its veterans, or its Montu veterans at that. Many prominent black martial artists have strong ties to the U.S. military, often discovering, developing, or refining their martial arts skill while serving abroad. Historically, military service provided one of the primary pathways for Black Americans to gain direct exposure to East Asian martial arts such as karate, taekwondo, judo, and other combat systems. During and after World War II, as well as throughout the Vietnam War era, Black servicemen stationed in countries like Japan, Korea, and Okinawa trained with local masters and brought those disciplines back home. Upon returning to the United States, many shared their knowledge in urban communities, helping to spread martial arts throughout black neighborhoods and creating a lasting cultural impact. As discussed in the documentary Hidden Colors 5, several commentators explored how military service became a key vehicle through which martial arts knowledge entered black communities. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed as well as Michael Jai White and those who touched on this topic in that documentary, by the way. The influence of black military veterans extended beyond civilian martial arts schools. Many black servicemen served as hand to hand combat instructors, applying martial arts principles in military training and combat readiness programs. This often overlooked history highlights in the significant role black military personnel played in bridging Eastern martial traditions with American self defense culture. When people think about martial arts, they often picture karate, kung fu, taekwondo, sometimes even Muay Thai. But the story of black martial excellence goes back further. Long before the rise of modern martial arts schools, black men were already earning reputations as elite combat instructors, swordsmen, and military warriors. Take Jean Louis Michel, for example. Born in Saint Domingue, present day Haiti, in 1785, he fled to France during the Haitian Revolution and overcame intense racial discrimination to become one of the greatest fencers of his era. Serving in Napoleon's army, Jean Louis Michel, if I'm saying his name right, his swordsmanship became legendary. In 1814, he famously defeated three Italian fencing champions in a single duel, earning widespread acclaim and eventually receiving the Legion of Honor. After retiring from military service, he opened a prestigious fencing academy and continued teaching even after losing his sight later in life. Many historians regard him as one of the foundational figures of modern fencing. Across the Atlantic, Basile Croquier, hopefully I'm saying his name right as well, became one of the most respected swordsmen in the American South. Born in New Orleans to a free woman of color and a wealthy white father, Croquier studied fencing in Paris, then the center of the fencing world. He returned to Louisiana and became renowned for his skill with both the rapier and the saber. In the highly competitive dueling culture of antebellum New Orleans, Croker earned a reputation as a master instructor whose abilities rivaled the best swordsmen of his generation. These men remind us that black martial excellence did not begin in the 20th century. It stretches back centuries and includes some of the most celebrated practitioners of Western combat arts. That tradition continued into the modern era through military service throughout World War II, the Korean War, and the Vietnam War. Many black American servicemen were stationed in Japan, Korea, Okinawa, and other parts of Asia where they gained direct access to martial arts training. They returned home not only as veterans, but also as instructors, school founders, and community leaders. Many open martial arts academies, introduced karate and taekwondo to new generations, and helped break racial barriers within the martial arts world. In many ways, the military became a bridge between ancient combat traditions and modern black communities in America. The result was a powerful legacy of discipline, self defense, leadership, and cultural exchange that continues to influence martial arts, military training, and combat sports today. Key takeaway: from the dueling grounds of 19th century France and New Orleans to military bases in Asia and martial arts schools across America, black martial artists have played a significant and often overlooked role in shaping both Western and Eastern combat traditions. Several prominent black American military veterans not only served their country with distinction, but also became powerful examples of martial skill, resilience, and leadership. Their stories demonstrate how military service and combat training often intersected with a lifelong commitment to martial arts and self defense. One remarkable example is Henry Johnson, a member of the famed 369th Infantry Regiment during World War I. Johnson became one of the most celebrated combat heroes of the war after an intense nighttime battle against a German raiding party. Despite being severely wounded, he continued fighting to protect a fellow soldier, eventually using a bolo knife in close quarters combat to drive off the attackers. His courage, determination, and hand to hand combat skills became legendary, earning him recognition as one of the greatest American heroes of the First World War. Another legendary figure is Frederick Douglass Peterson, a World War II veteran who later served for 24 years in the U.S. Navy during both World War II and the Korean War era. Peterson maintained a lifelong dedication to martial arts. What made his story especially inspiring was that he continued practicing, teaching, and sharing his knowledge well into his late 90s. His life stood as a testament to the idea that martial arts is not just about fighting, it's about discipline, health, personal growth, and lifelong learning. Life component: these men represent a larger tradition of black military excellence that extends from the battlefields of the world to martial arts schools, training halls back home. Many black servicemen learn combat systems overseas, refine their skills through military training, and return to their communities as instructors, mentors, and role models. In doing so, they help pass on valuable lessons in self defense, discipline, leadership, and perseverance to future generations. Their legacy reminds us that Martial arts is about far more than just physical technique. It is also about courage under pressure, service to others, and the commitment to keep learning and teaching throughout one's life as we go further into time with it. Many of the pioneers who helped build modern black martial arts culture first encountered advanced combat training through military service. After serving their country, they returned home and became instructors, innovators, champions, and community leaders, helping to often open doors for future generations. Grandmaster Ronald Duncan served in the U.S. Marine Corps during the 1950s, where he was introduced to martial arts training. After returning home, he became known as the father of American Ninja Jitsu. Check out the previous segment I did on him specifically. Grandmaster Duncan founded the Way of the Wind system in New York and dedicated himself to teaching hand to hand combat, weapons training, and self defense to military personnel, law enforcement officers, and civilians. His work helped popularize martial arts at a time when very few Americans had access to authentic instruction. Now, take for instance also Grandmaster Thomas LaPuppet Curl, also a U.S. Marine Corps veteran, emerged as one of the most respected karate competitors in the East Coast during the 1960s and the 70s, known for his strong foundations in Shotokan and Goju Ryu karate. Grandmaster Carroll became a dominant tournament fighter and an influential teacher. Working throughout New York and New Jersey, he mentored hundreds of young people, providing discipline, structure, and positive role models in urban communities. And then also going on to Grandmaster Ron the Black Dragon Van Cleef, the Shidoshi, served in the United States Marine Corps as well during the Vietnam era before becoming one of the most recognizable martial artists in the world. A pioneer of full contact competition on the East Coast, he developed his own martial arts system known as Chinese Goju and later served as a commissioner for the UFC, Ultimate Fight Championships. Grandmaster or Shidoshi Van Cleef's influence extended beyond the dojo as he became an international martial arts film star in both Hong Kong and the United States, helping showcase black martial excellence on a global stage. Then going on to Grandmaster Sijo Steve Muhammad, formerly Steve Saunders. He also served in the United States Marine Corps before becoming a major figure during the America's karate boom. In 1968, he helped establish the Black Karate Federation alongside fellow veterans such as Grandmaster Donnie Williams and others and martial artists in Los Angeles. The organization was created to challenge racial discrimination that black competitors often face in tournaments and promotions. Grandmaster Muhammad later developed his own fighting system, Ken Wing Taiba, and trained numerous elite competitors, law enforcement personnel, and community leaders. Then going on to Grandmaster James Thompson, a veteran of the United States Army Special Forces, spent 2 decades in military service, including multiple combat tours in Vietnam. While stationed in Okinawa, he immersed himself in the study of Vechi Ryu karate under respected Okinawan masters. After retiring from the military, Grandmaster Thompson earned the rank of 10th degree black belt and devoted his life to preserving and teaching traditional Okinawan martial arts in the United States. Then we have veteran George Cofield, first received formal martial arts training while serving in Japan during his military career. He went on to become one of the most influential Shotokan karate instructors of his generation. Through decades of teaching, he produced numerous champions and helped elevate the level of competitive karate throughout the country. Then going forward, we have veteran Victor Moore, made history as the first black American to win a major national karate championship when he captured the 1965 USKA Grand Nationals title. A veteran with training in multiple systems, including Goju Ryu, Bando, Grandmaster Moore became one of the most accomplished tournament fighters of his era. His victories over legendary competitors such as Chuck Norris and Joe Henry Lewis helped break racial barriers in competitive martial arts and inspired countless black athletes to pursue excellence in the martial arts world. Together, these veterans did more than win championships or earn military honors. They built schools, created organizations, challenged discrimination, developed new systems of combat, and mentored generations of students. Their contributions helped transform martial arts in America and ensured that black martial artists would have a lasting place in its history. The connection between military service and martial arts continues to this day. Modern military combat programs draw heavily from martial arts principles, and black servicemen and women remain an important part of that tradition as instructors, leaders, and innovators. One example is Master Sergeant Francisco J. Noda, a Marine Corps black belt instructor who incorporated a lifelong dedication to martial arts into his military career. His work reflects how martial arts training continues to shape leadership, discipline, physical fitness, and combat readiness within today's armed forces. Black expertise has also played a role in the development of formal military combat systems. Master Gunnery Sergeant Cardo Urso was among the key personnel tasked with helping establish the modern Marine Corps Martial Arts Program, MCAMAP, a comprehensive fighting system that combines techniques from multiple martial arts traditions with warrior ethics, leadership development, and battlefield skills. MCMAP remains the standard hand to hand combat program for the United States Marine Corps today. Beyond the battlefield, martial artists have helped bring these skills directly into military communities. Chuck Jeffries, a respected martial artist and instructor, established martial arts programs at military installations, including Andrews Air Force Base, helping service members and their families gain access to quality martial arts training. Efforts like these strengthen the relationship between military culture and martial arts education. Military veterans frequently speak about the discipline, sacrifice, and mental toughness required in both combat, and martial arts training. While the military has created opportunities for many martial artists, black servicemen have often had to overcome additional barriers related to race, of course, and representation while proving themselves as fighters, instructors, and leaders. Even though this military to martial arts pipeline is not unique to black veterans, modern figures such as Tim Kennedy, a U.S. Army Special Forces soldier and UFC veteran, and Colton Smith, an active duty Army soldier who later competed professionally in MMA, demonstrate how military combat training can serve as a foundation for success in combat sports. The larger story is one of shared values: discipline, resilience, courage, adaptability, and service. From early fencing masters and war heroes to Marine Corps instructors and modern combat athletes, military service has consistently provided a pathway for martial artists to develop their skills, test themselves under pressure, and pass their knowledge on to future generations. In many ways, the history of black martial artists in America cannot be fully told without recognizing the role of military service. The armed forces provided opportunities to learn, teach, innovate, and lead, allowing generations of black martial artists to leave a lasting mark on both military combat training and broader martial arts world. Yo, that's our topic as we close out from this time to the next time. Peace, allowance, prosperity. Be easy.